Thank you very much, Sir Mark, and it's a pleasure to serve under your chairmanship. Firstly, may I say that I am extremely honoured to have this opportunity to come before the House today to speak at the first dedicated debate on HIV and AIDS in this Parliament. And I'm incredibly grateful to my honourable friend, the member for Uxbridge and South Ruislip, for securing the debate on a topic that is not only so close to both of our hearts, but to the heart of this government. Because we are a government that is committed to ending new HIV transmissions in England by 2030. And with World AIDS Day fast approaching on the 1st of December, this debate is a welcome opportunity to highlight the importance of our new HIV action plan, which we are aiming to publish in summer next year. Achieving this goal demands collaboration, and that is why dialogue and engagement with every part of the system will be crucial as we progress with the development of the new plan. I am delighted to have the continued support from colleagues across the House, and like many already, want to commend the engagement of fantastic charities and organisations such as the Terence Higgins Trust, the National AIDS Trust and the Elton John AIDS Foundation, amongst many others. Sir Mark, I want to pay a tribute to all members that have contributed in this debate, the Honourable Member for Strangford, and I want to assure him that as Public Health Minister in England, I will be liaising closely with my counterparts in Northern Ireland, in Scotland and in Wales to ensure that we are all on track to end new cases of HIV in our respective jurisdictions. My honourable friend, the member for Gedling, who speaks so powerfully on these issues, the right honourable gentleman, the member for Dumfriesshire, Clydesdale and Tweeddale, who, along with my honourable friend, the member for Exeter, raised the issues of global inequality and of stigma and of pervasive legislation that still exists in far too many parts of this world. And I want to assure both members and the whole House that this new government will continue to be a major contributor of the Global Fund. Our obligations on the international stage are clear. We're not just about tackling HIV in this country, but across the globe. And when it comes to human rights and anti-LGBTQ+ legislation, this government and this country will always stand for equality, for human rights and for justice across the world as well as at home. My honourable friend, the member for Clapham and Brixton Hill, spoke about issues within black and minority ethnic communities specifically, but also I'd love to come and visit her new clinic, so consider it a date. My honourable friend, the member for Bournemouth East, in such a lovely and loving contribution, I want to thank him on behalf of the British government for putting the name John Eadie on the record. No longer a statistic, a human being who happened to die of AIDS. And we pay tribute to John and to those that died after him for being ahead of all the drugs and treatments and advances in technology that we now have. Their death was not something that has been in vain, because through them we remember them and the sacrifices of their friends and families to support them in really difficult times so that we have a better world ahead of us today. And my honourable friend, the member for Sherwood Forest, and indeed the honourable lady, the member for Shropshire North that leads for the Liberal Democrats. And I want to assure her that this government is committed to public health and prevention. And whilst I can't circumnavigate the budget process, we will do all we can to restore that public health grant over this Parliament and into the future, because public health and prevention matters and it is a priority for all of us. So Mark, just this Monday I had the pleasure of attending the launch of the voluntary and community sector report jointly by Terence Higgins Trust, National AIDS Trust and Elton John AIDS Foundation, where I offered my reflections on the valuable recommendations presented to us. I welcome the report along with its recommendations, and I look forward to developing the HIV action plan alongside such a vital sector, because we remain committed to hearing from those whose frontline expertise, grassroots connections and powerful voices will ensure our plan is not only ambitious, it is grounded in the lived experiences of those it seeks to support. Now, let me be clear. Getting to zero means smashing stigma. World AIDS Day offers a stark reminder of how far we have come since the 1980s, and this year's theme of stigma throws into sharp relief how far we have yet to go. It calls on all of us, not just as lawmakers, but as members of our communities, to reflect on the prejudice that people living with HIV have faced. Not only with a life-threatening illness, but also with alienation, with misinformation and discrimination. I have been thrilled to see the innovation and effectiveness of stigma reduction strategies across the country. And I am keen to build on that knowledge and work closely with the UK Health Security Agency as they continue to monitor stigma data through the Positive Voices survey report to ensure that addressing stigma is a key priority for our new HIV action plan. Because the experiences of the 1980s should remind all of us that stigma thrives in ignorance and in silence. And that is why we are determined to address this head-on as part of our honouring the legacy and work of so many others that went before us. Now, for the avoidance of doubt, we will not be satisfied until the numbers of transmissions reach zero. Yet there remains differences in the rate of diagnoses between demographics. As the numbers move towards zero, we must work together to reach those communities who have not been captured thus far. That means including and empowering these voices, not essentialising them. It means cultural competence. This means innovation. It means collaboration. And that's why we're hosting engagement sessions and roundtables in parallel with external stakeholders, including people with lived experience, the voluntary and the community sector, professional bodies, local partners and others. We're working alongside UCSA, NHS England and a broad range of system partners to inform the development of the new action plan that will build on the progress made on the existing plan and guarantee that it is robust, inclusive and evidence-based. Central to this effort is the importance of testing, a message we cannot repeat enough, and I apologise to the Shadow Public Health Minister, I'm going to repeat it: test, test, test. Testing is the gateway to prevention, it's the gateway to treatment and ultimately ending new HIV transmission. We know that HIV opt-out testing works well. During the last 27 months, over 2 million HIV tests have been conducted, and it is able to reach those who do not typically engage with sexual health services. Tomorrow, UCSA will publish their opt-out testing report, providing us with the latest data. This will inform the next steps for the expansion of opt-out testing. We will also use this as a foundation to explore how our action plan can build on these successes. Successes like the National HIV Testing Week, Yet we know that at the lower levels of testing persist amongst Black African and heterosexual groups. We have seen this trend intersect with women too. This requires tailoring our approach to reach those people living with undiagnosed HIV who have been overlooked. And look, PrEP plays a vital role in the combination approach. Breakthroughs in science and medicine that have meant that with the right treatment, people living with HIV can now lead long, healthy lives. The PrEP roadmap was published by the HIV Action Plan Implementation Steering Group in February this year, identifying barriers to access for underrepresented groups. So this roadmap will guide our efforts to improve access, uptake and the use of PrEP amongst those most at risk of HIV. In closing, Sir Mark, I want to say that we are determined to get to zero HIV transmissions. This World AIDS Day, let us honour those we've lost by recommitting ourselves to a future free from fear, misinformation and discrimination. The Don't Die in Ignorance slogan is sadly as relevant today as it was upon release. Together with science, compassion and unity, we can achieve a future of zero new HIV transmissions and where stigma is consigned to history.